This video is brought to you by Raycon.
Hello, I'm Arlo's mom. Am I really Arlo's mom, though? Or just Arlo in a wig, doing a bit? Is he ready to commit to this new lore? Like, is Arlo's mom, like, a real character now? I don't know, but I do know that Arlo just got me these lovely Raycon everyday earbuds, and I couldn't have asked for a better Mother's Day gift. Whether you're retired with a million hobbies or a working parent of an unspecified yet very large number of monster children, Raycons are perfect for the mom on the go. Fast charging gives me 90 minutes of playtime with only 10 minutes of charging. And with a full charge, I can get up to 8 hours, 32 total using the charging case. That's a whole lot of Japanese psych rock and podcasts about shipping containers. The everyday earbuds are also so comfortable because they're designed to fit any ear. I use the same size silicone tips as Arlo. He has my ears. They have many other lovely features as well. Active noise cancellation for when Arlo's dad is mowing the lawn or playing his tie-dye colored contrabassoon. Multiple sound profiles, multi-point connectivity for connecting to multiple devices at once, and the ability to easily take calls from my mustard dealer. I mean, supplier. Arlo genetically and behaviorally inherited his frugal nature from me, so I very much appreciate that the everyday earbuds cost about half the price of other premium audio brands. And you can go to buyraycon.com/Arlo or click the link in the description to get 20% off site-wide. So take it from me, a mom. Give the gift of Raycon this Mother's Day. Wait, who's that out the window? Sanjo! Sanjo, get that horse out of here! One more thing before we begin. Sorry, but on the morning of the day this video was set to go out, Nintendo updated the pre-order date and confirmed that Switch 2 system and game prices are remaining the same for the time being. And I know I go a little doom and gloom in this video about potentially astronomical prices and all that. And to some, this new information might make my takes feel a little less justified. However, it seems to me that prices very well may increase dramatically after launch, depending on all this stuff, all these fluctuating market conditions, and like after the first batch of sales, the supply here in the US really may dry up. Things are still very up in the air. I'm not feeling very confident about any of it, so I feel that the points I make in this video still stand, and I still want to give you this video as originally recorded. Just wanted to get that out of the way. Thank you. Let's finally get to the video now.
Oh, it's yummy.
Don't use that one. So, let's get this out of the way first. This situation is so much bigger than video games. This tariff thing is ongoing. I don't know, maybe by the time this video goes out, something will have changed. That would certainly be nice. But at this point, we're all just kind of holding our breaths and waiting to see what happens. Because if things go through as proposed, expensive Nintendo games may be the last thing we're all worried about. This could genuinely have a devastating impact on the US most of all, but like really, that will affect other countries as well. It's gonna kind of affect everything. Basically, if the current leadership gets its way, we could be in a really, really bad situation, and we may look back and laugh at the fact that we were once grumpy about Nintendo charging $80 for Mario Kart. However, I'd like to put the greater picture aside just for a bit. I would like to selfishly ignore that just for the duration of this video and look at things from the perspective of a Nintendo fan. Because as a Nintendo fan, yeah, this kind of stinks. No one could have possibly foreseen how perfectly horrible this timing would end up being. Nintendo likely delayed the Switch 2 from last year, and they could not have possibly predicted that it would land at the worst possible time to launch any kind of product at all. It's the reverse of the Animal Crossing situation. Just as they couldn't have foreseen Animal Crossing launching at the very start of a global pandemic that keeps everyone in their houses, now the scales are kind of tipping the other way. The Switch generation was so huge, and Nintendo's biggest challenge was just maintaining that momentum, just hitting the ground running. And now, this. Like, you could not do more to sabotage the launch of this system, to take the wind out of its sails. I mean, come on, all the tariff stuff was announced the same day as the big Switch 2 Direct. It's unreal. And it's sad because even without the current global economic kind of crisis, the situation would have been bad enough. Even without, like, inflation and the weak yen and all that stuff, I don't know, maybe Nintendo would have still come at us with $80 games and a $450 system. Maybe this was the plan from the start. I really don't know. But even that has been enough to kind of spoil the fun. I mean, a little controversy here and there is whatever, you know, like, look at Pokemon. Like, those games come out hugely controversial, but then they still sell just fine. But I think there's a chance that Nintendo has crossed that line just a tad too far in this case. Like, knowing that the biggest Switch 2 games are gonna be $80 here in the US, not even 70. 70 was already an increase, but 80, that has, I think it's just triggered a fear in people. It's just a scary idea. But the thing is, it's not just the brand new games. It's not just the biggest games. It's these Switch 2 editions. Like, I get charging for, like, the upgraded version that more or less is industry standard, but then stacking that on top of these original prices, these original MSRPs, which have not lowered at all, even on these super duper old games. So now you're looking at really old 8-year-old games, and you're looking at this $80 price tag. We're just seeing $80 all over the place. Nintendo is showing that, like, this is only gonna get worse. We're never ever gonna give in. We're never gonna lower the price on anything. We're always gonna charge the maximum amount we possibly think we can. I don't know. And that's just in the US. Like, that's to say nothing of other territories where these prices are usually even worse. It's just like, I don't know. I think they might have crossed that line. It just sort of seems like too much for too much of the population. People are literally deciding, you know what, I just can't do it. Like, I just genuinely can't afford. If this is how much games are now, I can't do it anymore. It's always been a lot. It's always felt like a little bit too much. Even back with the Switch generation, it was hard to shell out that much, but we did it because it was just not quite too far enough. But now, things are only getting worse. Our money is worth less than ever. Stuff costs more than ever. Many of us are struggling just to pay for, like, food and rent. And now games are that much more. And I know this next part is very, like, boo-hoo, woe is me, privileged content creator Arlo, who cares, but whatever, I'm gonna say it anyway. We've waited such a long time, and we finally get our big, huge Switch 2 Direct, and I've got Topic Arlo now, so, like, me and Kane, we're just pumping out videos like absolute crazy. We just work, like, absolutely all day, just morning to nighttime. You know, all those videos, I'm feeling super proud of myself, and, like, the Direct itself, aside from, like, the price stuff, is all really great. I'm feeling really incredibly positive about Nintendo, about these games, about the Switch 2. Everything is great. And then I turn off the computer and I flump into bed and I spend, like, a couple minutes looking at comments. that thing that you're not ever supposed to do, but I did it anyway. And I must say that it was pretty demoralizing doing all that and being so happy and so psyched, and then seeing that just every comment was about the prices. It was all anyone could talk about. I guess that was kind of the moment when I realized, like, oh, this super great, fun, awesome day, this wonderful event, this holiday, this happening, this once in a generation celebration, it just wasn't that anymore. You know, it just kind of wasn't. And that was just like the baseline. That was without considering the global economic situation that we are now in. People are already this mad, and now Nintendo may have to raise prices even further. here in the US. Like, considering how much they may have to pay for every system or game that gets shipped here, we may be looking at, I don't know, $100 games, $700 system wouldn't surprise me. And if they feel that they just cannot justify that, they can't just do that with a straight face, they might just not sell very many Switch 2s here at all. They might just not. They might throttle our supply because they're just losing too much money per unit. It may be next to impossible to even get one. And to, selfishly make it about me again, I'm imagining a situation where I can't get a Switch. Like, this is literally my job to talk about this stuff. And what if I just can't? Or what if I get lucky and I manage to, but like no one else here can? I don't know, this is my livelihood. This is how I pay my bills and provide for a bunch of my family. And then obviously there is just the fun aspect too, like I said, it's been slow for years. Like me and Kane, and then like all of our YouTuber friends too. Like it's been slow, and we were all just so excited about this new generation of Nintendo, and we would finally have just a bunch of work to do. We were just so excited to just jump in and be overwhelmed with stuff to do and talk about. And now the future is kind of up in the air. We're all just kind of not sure what's going to happen, and it's looking kind of bleak. But obviously, it's a bummer for every Nintendo fan. It's a bummer for all of us. Nothing is more exciting than the launch of a new console. Like that's it. There just is nothing else more exciting than that. So to have this whole thing that we've been waiting so long for, to have it just soured like this, it's really unfortunate. And you know what? Besides all of the price stuff, I came away from that direct feeling really hopeful. Really, this is a point that I've been wanting to make. Like this right here is the video that I wish I were making. But if you just look purely at the content Nintendo has delivered to us, just purely at the games and the info, I really honestly think that the Switch 2 signals a new era for Nintendo. And like the Switch already was. Like it already was a new era for Nintendo. That was Nintendo returning to the glory days as a company, as designers, as producers. They improved in so many ways. And yet I feel like Switch 2, everything we know about it so far, it communicates even more of a dramatic change. Nintendo, they used to be so weird, like so weird. They would give us these things and there would be these problems or these big lacking areas and we would scream about it and they would just ignore us. But now it feels like they are very purposefully hunting down these little problems, these areas where there was a lack, and they are fixing them and they are showing us that they are fixing them. It seems like they really, really want to do right by the customer. Like there's this big emphasis on hardware power. Like what is that? What even is that? 120 hertz refresh rate? They're showing off Metroid Prime 4 and telling us how it's got quality and performance modes and runs at 120 FPS and HDR and everything. Like what is that? That's not the Nintendo that I thought I knew. And then the games. Like the games are just so grand. They could have just done any old thing with Mario Kart. We would have bought it anyway, but instead it's this big, huge, very new, very innovative, it's something very big and new for the series. And like DK, I don't know, there's just so many more like normal and safe games they could have done. But they're doing so much it's so big. It really does feel like next gen Nintendo. I don't know, like I really am floored. I really think the golden era of Nintendo has only just now begun. But that conversation is not happening right now. I gotta read the room. Nobody wants to hear all of that. Now is really not the time. Like basically when it comes to just the system and like its features and its games and all that stuff, like the on paper stuff, I feel like we have every reason to be excited. I really do. Like as a YouTuber and as a Nintendo fan, I feel like this could be the most exciting time in nearly a decade since the beginning of the Switch generation. This moment that we are living in right here, right now, this had the makings of being a career highlight for me, a Nintendo fan highlight for me, and for so many other people. And instead, we find ourselves here. It's still here, but it's not the here I think we were looking for. And it's a bummer. It really is. As a Nintendo fan, at the very least, I am disappointed with how things are turning out. And you know, I'm sorry to you guys as well. I really am. Like, this is supposed to be a fun thing that we all get to share, because it's not just about the games, it's not just about the system, it's about this whole thing, this whole like sense of community and fun that we all get to take part in. You know what, I'm trying to stay hopeful. I'm trying to remain positive. I think that even if you're not feeling very positive, being at least somewhat positive can be very powerful in situations like this. Maybe some of this stuff will blow over or change or something. I don't know, but yeah. At the very least, I'm trying to remain focused on just the good parts. You know, the games. The games look pretty cool. I'm still excited about the games and the system. You gotta do what you can. It's just a shame that it's like, will I even be able to get my hands on a Switch 2? Like, will that even happen? And if I do, is it gonna cost me like $1,000 just to get the system and like one game and a controller? And if I do get it, like, how many other people in the US will be able to get one? Am I gonna be making reviews for games that very few people can actually play? And I have to say it, I'm looking at a few years from now, and if the powers that be continue to torch vital government agencies and run our economy into the ground, will we even be talking about video games at all? And what about my Pikmin? You know how Arlo loves his Pikmin. The funny monster loves his Pikmin. Woo! And a Nintendo. Oh, doodly-doo.